Hi friends, and welcome to day 3 of the Southeast region. So today we're starting on page 28 with Mississippi. So the abbreviation for Mississippi is MS, so MS. Its nickname is the Magnolia State, which is pretty cool. And its capital is Jackson, so I'm going to star Jackson, okay? Some famous landmarks. We have the Vicksburg National Park, Military Park. And then we also have the Gulf Island Seashore, because obviously being over here, it is one of the ones that borders the Gulf of Mexico. It borders the Gulf right here. So they have their own island seashore. And then some waterways. Obviously we have the Mississippi River in Mississippi. And then we have, again, the Gulf of Mexico. And then we have deltas and shallows that lead into the Gulf. So smaller rivers and streams or things that lead into either the river or the Gulf. And then just like previous states in the Southeast, it's made up of a lot of lowlands and open plains. So lots of open space. And that's about it for Mississippi. So let's move on to our, I should probably give you some time to write. I'm just getting a little excited about North Carolina. So, if you need a second to pause and copy this down, go ahead. If not, we are moving on to North Carolina. Now, North Carolina, its abbreviation is NC. Its nickname is the Old North State. Sorry, I keep mixing up what's getting cropped out of this. So, the nickname is the Old North State. The capital is Raleigh, North Carolina, so I'm going to star that so I can study it later. And some famous landmarks are the Wright Brothers National Memorial, so the first in flight, and then the Biltmore Mansions are actually in North Carolina too. It's a very pretty mansion, very, very big and everything that is a beautiful mansion. Then there's 17 major river basins that flow into the Atlantic in North Carolina, so lots of things leading out to the ocean. And some physical features are there's lots of mountains and there's lots of sandy thin beaches that are called Outer Banks. And they obviously being on the coast like that and being further south, they experience very severe weather. And if we look at the map, it kind of looks a little flat on one side, but right here is North Carolina on the map altogether. So again, if you need to pause to fill anything in, feel free. And if not, we're ready to move on to the third and final state for today, which is, you guessed it, South Carolina. We just did North, now we're doing South. So obviously North is up top because if we're looking at a compass, North is on the top, right? So we have North, you don't need to write this, but North, South, East, and West. So North Carolina is on top, South Carolina is on the bottom. So the abbreviation of South Carolina is SC. Its nickname is the Palmetto State. And its capital city is Columbia. So I'm going to star that. And its famous landmarks are Fort Sumter and the Magnolia Gardens that also have a zoo. Very beautiful gardens, and I thought it was pretty cool that there's a zoo attached to it. I did not know that. I just thought it was the Magnolia Gardens until I did some research. That's pretty fun. And then some waterways. They have 12 major lakes in South Carolina, so very similar to North Carolina with the lakes leading into the Atlantic Ocean. So a lot of them connect into the Atlantic. And then some physical features, much like North Carolina, South Carolina has plains and mountain ranges, and they're known for being a very rocky state. So lots of different rocks. And then the last one for today is Tennessee. So the abbreviation for Tennessee is TN, and the nickname is the Volunteer State, and the capital city is Nashville. So I'm going to take my different color marker and I'm going to star Nashville. So that way when we go back to study later, the capital stands out. So now some famous landmarks. Graceland, which was Elvis Presley's home. we have Dollywood and the Grand Ole Opry. And then some of the major waterways, they have the Tennessee Valley Basin and then the Tennessee River flowing as well. And then some physical features are that they have the Smoky Mountain Range, and similar to Kentucky, Tennessee is divided up into grand divisions similar to regions. They have an east, a middle, and a west. So it's divided up into 3 parts. And then if you look on the map down here, you can see that it's right in the middle. It looks very thin compared to the other states, but it's right near North Carolina. So make sure that you are pausing to write all of this down if you need to, and then you're either showing me on Google Meet, or you can send me pictures on Seesaw of each of these pages to get credit for today's class. Bye, guys.